Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for tonight for a great episode of Spanning the Need. Tonight, we'll be talking with the first female mayor of Struthers, Ohio, Mayor Catherine Miller, to discuss a variety of topics about her city and what she plans in the future. Thank you, Mayor, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with us.
Anytime, Tony. Thanks for having me.
And actually, you're sitting on your front porch enjoying the outdoors like a lot of people probably are right now.
Absolutely. It's nice out right now.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. So, well, first, I'm a little late. I'm about 6 months late, but congratulations on making history as the first female mayor in the city of Struthers.
Thank you very much. It's been a long road to get here.
How does that feel? I mean, you go through the primaries and then become the first mayor. How did that feel when you found out you won?
It feels like almost like destiny to me because I feel like I've always wanted to be here. I feel like I fit very well. It's just I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be in life. So it's very comforting.
So what do you say to those people out there that you're the first woman? So what advice can you give young individual women about what their ambitious is and what they want to do when they succeed?
I will tell you, just being the first woman, we didn't even know that going into the campaign. We had no idea that I was going to be the first woman. It wasn't until after the primary that we did find out, but it's not something we ran on. We had a lot of support from the male population in Struthers as well as the female. I mean, you've seen our women around in Struthers. We have a strong, powerful voice here. But some advice that I would give to younger women, younger girls, is just to be yourself and be kind. That's the advice that I was given from some women in this profession. And that's really what I think got me to where I am, is that I've stayed true to myself and true to my morals and my beliefs the whole way through.
Well, and that's a great point. Let's talk about, how did you start? Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started to where you are and how you got where you are now.
Well, from the very beginning, as you know, my mom and dad lived here in Struthers. My dad graduated from Struthers. I've always been a self-proclaimed Struthers girl. Just born and bred here. I went to school here. I graduated in 2001, went to Capitol, moved back home. I got involved in the prosecutor's office. I was there for about 6 years before, or 4 years, I'm sorry, almost 5, before I decided to run. But it's something that I always have wanted to do. This is a position that I've always wanted since I was young. My friends used to make fun of me. I actually have a picture with Mayor Mamula when I told him when I was in high school I was going to be the mayor someday. I actually showed Mayor Terry Stalker when I was younger for Civics Day. So it's always been something that I've wanted to do, but this is the time. This was the time.
Well, and that's something that you can talk about and then at the same time become that 15, 16 years later. And you're still very young. And there are people talking about that this could start a trend locally in certain other cities and townships that open that door for a variety of different people to run on very different demographics, where you live, how you are. And I think one big question that everyone probably wants to know is, what was your first day like walking into the mayor's office as the mayor of Struthers?
It was very exciting and extremely humbling, just to be there in that office, in that building. It was absolutely busy. I think every day, every second we had scheduled out with meetings the beginning of the year. It was just back to back to back to back, just so I can touch base with a lot of people. And one of the things that we wanted to stress when I first started, and we're going to stress all the way through, is more or less teamwork. We wanted everybody to be on the same page. We want everybody to have a voice. We want the employees to be able to have opinions on things that go on in the city. We want the residents to be able to speak about things that they know of or questions that they may have. So we wanted to make this more of an us kind of route.
Well, and was it all Was it all what you envisioned when you walked into the mayor's role?
Yes, absolutely. Now, everything that's happened recently, no. But yes, in the beginning it was. Everything kind of became very crystal clear for me. And we had a lot of plans, which, as you know, have got derailed right now. But yes, everything has been going according to plan. A lot of what we stressed in the beginning too, I needed to surround myself with the right people. So that has been a tremendous help. It's just filling those spots there.
And how was that process? Hiring the right people?
It was. We kept a lot of people that were already on staff, and there were some that we changed out. But it was, everything went pretty smoothly.
Well, and that's good to hear. And now we're kind of in a pandemic time where, I mean, no one expects this when you become a mayor or a township trustee or even a governor, from what DeWine has done in the state of Ohio. So let's talk a little bit about how you in your city has been handling the pandemic. Let's talk a little bit about that. So we know that you put plans in for a full year of what you're going to plan on doing. So how has your day-to-day changed with the pandemic?
Well, everything's changed. Everybody's lives have changed. We have a 1-year plan, we have a 5-year plan, we have a 10-year plan, and this put everything very far back, pushed us clear back. But we've always had such a gel with the people that I work with now. A lot of what we've been going through, because as you know, there's no manual on how to go through a pandemic. There's no right or wrong way or what's the best practice, what's the worst practice, what things can you do. There's no manual for the mayor's office on what to do in a pandemic. Nobody's ever had to deal with this before. So a lot of it, I was leaning on other people and their areas of expertise. So I know I spoke with the Mahoning County Health Department a lot with Ryan Tekak. I spoke with other mayors. I know the mayor from Hubbard. He's doing a fantastic job through this, but a lot of it is listening to what's going on and trying to protect our city the best way we can. And sometimes people, I know I put the curfew on and there were a lot of people who said, well, what are the statistics for that? We don't have any. We have no statistics. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But I said from the beginning that I was going to lead and our team was going to lead to keep the best interest of our residents at heart. So I know the curfew had a little bit of some issues, but it wasn't people from Struthers. I would say we had a very good response from the residents of Struthers. The response that there were a lot of people that didn't like it, but they did not live in Struthers. I spoke with people about this practice of the curfew before we put it into place. And one of the things we were able to do as a city that most cities wouldn't have been able to do is I was able to call every single business owner who was open 24 hours and say, hey, we're going to put this curfew into place. Can you close your store? And we're on such a good first name basis with everybody here in Struthers. We only had 4 or 5 places and they didn't like it, but they all cooperated with the city and were willing to do whatever they could to help us accomplish our goal. So smaller cities like this, it worked. I mean, I can't sit here and say, well, we saved this many lives or we saved this many people from getting sick, because that's something we will never know. But if it did even save one person from catching the virus, it was worth it.
And I think that's a very difficult, and I think that's a very difficult scenario. You're kind of between a rock and a hard wall, making those decisions between people's health versus going to work and stuff like that. So you did a curfew, you did a variety of different things. Is there anything you would do differently? Or do you think you've continued to do what's best in your opinion?
I don't think I would have done anything differently. We will continue to do what we think is best. A lot of the decisions I make, especially when they're big decisions, it's not something that I'm just going to put the hammer down and say, I'm doing this because I'm the mayor. That's not how I do things. I run things by people that I trust, different residents in the city, our law director, our auditor, our safety service director. I have a team of people that surround me and surround the city and protect us that I bounce ideas off of all the time. And that is one of the best things I think about that's going on in our office in our city right now, is that we do take into consideration what other people have to say. One of the things that we had tried to put through was keeping the juveniles in their yard. That got such a horrible feedback. We pulled that part of it. So we didn't even sign that part of it because I had so many people with very legit complaints that we didn't even see that side of it. So we are, I'm the first one to say that we made a mistake, we'll go back, we'll correct it, and then move on. But no, we're going to continue to do what we think is best.
Well, and I think no one knows what happens now. We're still in the unknown phase of when this is going to happen. They're talking about a second phase, a second wave of it in probably September, October. That's just an assumption. So what are you doing differently with operational wise or even budget wise moving forward with the city of Struthers?
Well, I know budget-wise, we're already on emergency spending. We've been on emergency spending since the pandemic hit. So it's nothing, not that we spent a lot of money, but we are holding back tremendously on what we are spending, and things that can wait till next year or the following year are going to wait. But we are taking every kind of precaution we can. I've been working hand in hand with the Struthers Municipal Court with Judge Dominic Leone. And we've been working very well together. We require masks in City Hall. We have temperatures being taken at the police department. Everybody is on the same page when we're so small and we're so close that we're able to be on the same page with everything. One of the things we did do, we got some donations from Dinosaur Plastics out in Niles and from RC Compounding for hand sanitizer that at a time when it was hard to get to. They donated a lot to the city, and we were able to supply our police department, our fire department. We even reached out to a lot of the doctor's offices, the funeral homes in Struthers. We got them some PPE when they weren't able to get them. So we've been trying to reach out to a lot of our businesses and a lot of the people that we know may need help. And a lot of this, Tony, we've been calling, my secretary has been doing an amazing job. We've been calling places and just saying, what do you need? What do you need from the city? What can we help with? Who can we put you in touch with? Trying to fit this big puzzle together.
Well, and I think that brings a big question is now you're moving into kind of an emergency phase with your spend, your budgets. So what are some of the big challenges with that? Some people may not understand that, okay, City of Struthers, where do they get their money from? How does that money come in? And what challenges are you going to face with that overhaul of a budget and an emergency of purchasing as well and spend?
Well, I will tell you, one of the things that I ran on during my campaign was that I was really, really big on grant writing. And I've been working with Gary Diorio. I have a meeting with KO Consulting on Friday, tomorrow, actually. We're going to go after anything we possibly can. So anything we find, any kind of monies that are available out there, we're going to go after them and try to bring them to help us get through this. I know we have a little bit of an issue right now with some of our nonprofits. Because they're funded by spaghetti dinners and different fundraisers. You know, Struthers, we have a spaghetti dinner every week.
Or every day when I come to Struthers. It's an Italian. Good. Yeah.
But we have something every week here. And those fundraisers sometimes support our smaller businesses and our smaller nonprofits. So not being able to have the spaghetti dinners and those fundraisers is putting the nonprofits at a crossroads kind of.
Well, and I think that brings up a follow-up to that is well, you have nonprofits that are losing money. A lot of profits that can't have those fundraisers and that can't do to help the less fortunate, to help. So how do you work with them to kind of get out and really make a difference when their funds are running dry compared to what the city has?
You have to be creative. You have to try to come up with something. I know my husband's in charge of the baseball league, and he has a very good board of directors right now, board of trustees. and they're doing a fundraiser right now that's a calendar fundraiser. So it's not an in-person thing, it's just on Facebook and on social media. So people have to try to get creative, try to come up with different ways. I know I've been I've been talking a lot with Sherrod Brown's office, and they're trying to put something into effect where the money will just go to help those nonprofits in a grant aspect instead of a loan aspect. But there are hopefully going to be a lot more options going forward, ways we can get money to people that need it the most.
So we're looking now we kind of look to the unknown, which is, like you said, a year down the road, 6 months down the road. Let's go pandemic. What are your plans moving forward over the next 6 months to kind of get through this pandemic, and kind of what for the future? Let's start with that, and then we'll get a little bit farther into the future on what your plans are for Struthers.
Well, right now and for the next couple months, we're just going to be taking everything day by day. So it's hard to plan for things when we don't know what we're getting into. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. As you know, we've had things popping up every day. It's something different. So we are just basically going day by day, hour by hour, and trying to address whatever is in front of us at the time. So it's hard to plan out right now.
Well, and then the follow-up to that is, so what are your plans for the future in general for Struthers, pandemic or no pandemic? What are some of your key strategic goals that you want to accomplish in your next 3 to 4 years in office?
I know one of the biggest things is economic development. That's something that we really have to stress, especially now because of the pandemic. But one of our focuses right now is downtown and trying to bring that area, just revitalize the whole area down there. We have a new business that opened up called Social 22 that's going to bring like an entertainment aspect to it. We have Donavitos and Salos who hopefully will never leave. They're becoming a staple in our city. If you've not had their food, try them. And then we have places all over Struthers. We have Briar Hill. I could sit here and plug away for days. But we have a lot of good people. We have I'm seeing more lately people who really want to be involved, who want to be in the mix of things, who have ideas, and they know I'll listen. They know our team will listen and really not just fluff them off. If there's residents that have different ideas, especially people that have already come to me, they know I take their ideas seriously and we'll run with them. And I'm not the type that likes to take credit for other people's ideas. I know we just received a grant from the commissioners, the CDBGD grant, the Black.
It's a mouthful.
There's so many acronyms I can't even. But I've been working with one of our councilmen, Dallas Beagley, on, and especially our safety service director. But it's a lot more partnering. So it's not just me trying to lead the way by myself. I'm trying to do this with everybody together as a team. So and so far, knock on wood, everything's been going great. But then we have this pandemic. Everything just keeps putting a wrench in it. But we're getting through it. We are.
Well, and I think you just got to take day by day and really know what you're kind of walking into. Because I can probably tell you, as soon as you probably wake up in the morning, you probably we have another challenge to get through for that day, just to put out fires left and right. So let's go year 3 and 4. At the end of that time, where do you want to see the city of Struthers? We talk about your plans, but at the end of it all, what do you want to see be accomplished at that time besides your goals?
I want our businesses to be flourishing. I want our neighbors to be neighbors. I want our people, a lot of the people, I just want to stay the same and stay as close as we are and defend each other and really live in a place where everybody is proud to say that we're from Struthers, which, Struthers, we are very proud. But I want to continue that. I want everybody to try to be on the same page and try to instill a stronger set of morals with our school, with our court, with our council, with everybody. I want everybody to try to be on the same page and working towards the same goals. But there's so many ideas and different plans that we have for the city, for the different areas in Struthers, for the parks, and especially with grants and things like that, bring money in, and not trying to take so much out of the budget. I have a million ideas.
And a million ideas to kind of bring them all together. So,
Yes.
well, we appreciate your time, and you ready for a little Q&A?
Sure.
Okay, this one's so we had some sent privately, and then if anyone makes a question, they can leave it right in the question comment or in the comment section of this post. So this first question comes from Ray. He wants to know, and I'll put it up on the screen so you're able to see it. Okay. He just says, what is your favorite memory so far as mayor?
This is going to be something that might not be that big to everybody else, but I know I was in another interview, and one of the greatest moments, and this is something little, but to me as a mom, just was the biggest thing in the world. We had a bus change in the beginning of the year, and I wasn't thinking, and I didn't have the bus come to pick up my son from the school, so I picked him up, and we pulled into City Hall. I had to bring him with me for 15 minutes until my husband got out of work. And we pulled into the mayor's parking spot, and my son looked at me and he said, "Whoa, Mom." He goes, "You are big time out." He goes, "This is the coolest thing." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You have your own parking spot." It said mayor's parking spot. So that, I know it's something little, but as a mom, just to see how cool my kid thought I was my favorite memory so far.
And you know, that's pretty much a good question. I mean, you always want to know what's your favorite memory. So this one I'm going to put up on the screen. This one's from Christina. What are some of your challenges as mayor right now in the city of Struthers? And I'll put it up on the screen here. And we might have
the challenges right now.
Yeah, I would assume that's the question.
Yeah, right now everything is just so unknown, and there's no right way to do things. There's no wrong way to do things. It's just trying to figure everything out. I know one of the challenges being a female mayor. I've learned little things just sometimes being the only female in the room. And I know in Struthers it's different because the men here in Struthers treat me as normal as anybody. They don't treat me like I'm the only female in the room. But there are places that I go that it's challenging to try to get the same respect from some of the gentlemen that are there. So I do little things like I hike my chair up as high as I can. So I'm trying to sit higher than everybody. In a room full of guys, I will be sitting higher than everybody. So little tips like that I've got from some women that are some challenges because it's hard. And sometimes when I walk into the room, I'm one of the youngest people, and it's hard for somebody to take me seriously. So until I speak, until they know that I understand Struthers and that I understand our people, it's hard to get through that. But once I do, everything's been pretty good.
Well, and actually that brings up a great point. You played basketball at Capitol.
I did, yes.
So you should be pretty tall anyway, because you used to dunk, right?
No, I wish. No, I was a point guard.
Well, but I think the dynamic of a team is what you're doing at the city of Struthers. You're putting together your team to accomplish your goals, your vision, and just really making a difference in the city of Struthers. We can see we see support from the Struthers community along the side. So we appreciate you taking the time, Kat. Anything you want to add to anything we talked about, or what kind of your thoughts are and just what's going on in the city of Struthers?
No, I would just recommend that everybody keep your eyes out for us because we're going to make a huge splash here in the Valley.
Well, thank you very much, Kat. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, Mayor, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Span the Need. Next week, we will be talking with Community Leader Derek McDowell. Be safe and have a blessed day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kat, Mayor, and have a great day.
You too.